Evening, guys. Backwoods Management here. I'm Brandon. This is Jake. He's with me tonight. We're going to show you the equipment we use for our trapping. Uh, so let's get started. Go ahead. Explain our staking. He's got a little bit of stage fright.
Well, we use 18-inch rebars. We made them ourselves. We take and use the washers and weld them across the top. He does most of the welding because I ain't very good at it at all. But mostly, we like to double stake them, and we do that because there's a lot of coyotes around here, and coyote can pull out a single stake pretty easily, and it'll easily hold a fox. We cut this about 2 weeks ago, I guess I would say. It's still drying. It's not completely dry yet, but yeah, and then we take and on the end of our chains on the traps, we have swivels that we stick around here, so 4-inch motion, and that's about it. You want to explain everything you're saying?
Yeah, I'll explain our second way of staking. I actually made these myself too. You can buy them. You're probably better off to buy them. They work easier. But the basic system here, and I apologize, this one's used, a little kinked up, but I'll show you. There's a piece of metal here on the end, about 3 inches. You take, where's your driving rod? Right here. Has a slot in the end of it. Slides over. You drive this down into the ground about a foot, a little more, depending on how hard your soil is. This loop goes right into the trap. Once it's in the ground, you pull it up, and that piece will turn horizontal in the ground. And it takes a lot to pull it out. We have to pull them out with crowbars, so that's a pretty good system. They're lighter to carry through the woods. It's what I prefer. Just depends how far we have to carry. Well, yeah, I make him carry everything. He's pack mule. Another thing we use, guys, pair of channel locks. We carry these with us, crimp down J hooks around our stakes or whatever. Might as well get to our traps. We use Duke traps. These are 1.75s. That's pretty much all we use. We have some number 2s. Duke makes a really, really good trap. Here, I'll set this one for you. We do some modifications on them to help them work better, especially for coyotes.
And you don't need brand new traps because we're using ones that are about 20 years old also, and they work just as well. But the Dukes have a little bit better pinch because they got newer springs.
Yeah, you always want strong springs to hold your animals. Now this one's set. I always come in. We have these night latched, which is a little notch above the factory pan. I'll see if you can see it here. I'll pull it down.
You tell me to put that in there too. That one doesn't work. It's in the night latch, but there's dirt in it.
There's a night latch here. Click. That means the pan's level, ready to go. You want your pan to always be level. Work out nice. These here, I'll show you. Try not to catch my fingers. Are base plated. Sorry, bad lighting. That means there's a piece welded across the bottom here. It is then, there's a chain link to it, and that means that whenever your fox or coyote or raccoon or whatever is pulling on the trap, it's pulling from the strong point, not from the side, and it holds more animals that way. So that's our trap. You might have to work with them. We'll hopefully get a video up for you on how we modify these. Not going to do it right now, but that's about your trap. Now I'll set it off here. They're strong. Kind of hurt my finger there. I'm not going to lie. So they hold coyotes just fine for us. I know a lot of guys like using number 2 or 3s. That's about it. That's what I like right there. Another thing we carry for dirt hole sets is a piece of pipe, EMP. You can look it up. Basically your trampoline posts. I think that's where we actually got this. We just cut a slot down across here at an angle about 45 degrees. Take our hammer. We just use a carpenter's hammer. We don't have a sod buster or anything like that. Hammer your dirt holes in 45 degrees. Pull it out. Makes a really nice hole. That's our preference. You'll see in our videos we don't make gigantic holes like they do out west a lot of times. 3-inch holes. Ours are about 1.5 inches. That's what we have luck with. 3, they just seem to get too suspicious around here. So, continue here into some baits and urines, lures, all that. Right here is coyote urine. We're trapping primarily for coyotes right now. Coyote urine I've found works good for coyotes. You won't catch as many fox. You'll catch one here and there, but they tend not to want to be with it. Now here, this is Hall Baker's red fox urine. You can catch fox and coyote with this. It works really well for both. Now, we use a variety of different lures. This is red fox gland lure, attracted fox, coyote, raccoon, all that stuff. This one here is Hall Baker's Coyote Special 200, I believe. It's pretty strong smelling, lasts pretty long. It sets even through some little bit of rain, stuff like that. Works good. This one here, and I'm sorry, the label's peeled off most of these. This is a long distance call lure. To me, it smells kind of garlicky. Smells really strong. I use this a lot of times if I'm not exactly sure where coyote's coming through. This will work on fox too, actually, but I use it mostly for my coyote trapping. This is a coyote gland lure. Kind of stinks. Not real strong smell, but it definitely piques their interest. So, we like it. And now something I like to use that some people don't, and you can hold it up there. It's, what is it?
It's a Hall Baker's fox and coyote bait. Well, we look at it, and it basically just looks like grinded up
tainted meat bait.
Meat and poo. I mean, it's got hair in it. It smells terrible, and it's kind of like a hamburger type substance or dirt, like frozen dirt. It's really weird, but it tends to work.
Especially in cold weather. You put that down your dirt holes, I have really good luck with it. I catch more whenever I pair a urine, a lure, and that meat bait all at the same time. It just seems to work better for me. Well, to bed our traps, we use dry dirt. We don't use wax dirt or anything like that. But in the bottom of our traps, we use peat moss. This here is peat moss. It doesn't hold water very well. It insulates your trap. We always put this down below the trap before we bed it. Stuff like that. So there you can see that. You can buy that at Home Depot, Lowe's, garden shops, places like that. Now, some of it you get somewhat wet. You might want to get it in the summer if you're planning ahead. Let it dry out some. It's not too wet. It seems to work fine for us just right out of the bag if we buy it now. So the other thing we use is just some dry dirt. We pre-sift all of ours right here. You can see into buckets before we go out. That's just one less thing to carry for us. We don't use any of the dirt from the area in our sets, especially this time of year. If we have a warm spell for a week, we might, but it freezes. Everything's wet all the time here for some reason, and that's what we use. Now, not going to get too far into this today. Whenever our catches, this here is on a wire stretcher. We have some wires and some boards. This is a pretty nice fox. Stretch nice. These wire stretchers, if you're going to get them, the only suggestion I have right now is make sure you shape them right. Talk to your guy that's going to be buying fur. They need to be stretched a certain width. I believe total width is like 6.5, and it has a taper from the face. If you stretch them too wide, you're not going to get a good price for them. We'll get into that whenever we get some catches and we're putting them up. We'll explain that a lot better in those videos. But so here's the basics of the what we use. As far as how we use it, we'll show a lot better videos when we start making sets. We have rain coming tonight, so we'll be resetting tomorrow evening after school.
We'll try to get your video here out.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you a video. We'll try to get our best set tomorrow, our dirt hole set. It outproduces any of our other sets, so we'll show those to you. Get you some location on where we're at, kind of area we're trapping.